All right. So, hi everyone. Sorry, my mic was off. I wasn't paying attention. All right. So, hi Yankees for Life, Joe, Brooklyn Bounce, Buffalo Billy, Carlos. Hi Angel. How you doing? Did you sleep well, or have you been up all night? Because that was like an impromptu thing that happened yesterday. Oh, hey Al. Al said he was getting Amber Heard on later on, so we might want to watch him. We'll see. Pain like Adama. Okay, I got it, Adama. Yeah, you've been making me laugh this week, by the way. Oh my god. Okay, all right. Can everybody hear me now or not? Can you hear me? Okay, all right, good, great. Thank you, Edwin. How are you, Edwin? You always look nice too, by the way. Thank you. Okay. Angela. Hi, Angela. All right. So, hi. Hi, Sean. All right. So, um, oh, okay. So the sound is good. Thank you. So I'm just going to do like a little recap of the week to start with. And I might tell you my second funeral story. I went on Angels Live last night, and I ended up telling you a little story about my sister's funeral, which was a disaster. Every time I go home to something like that, funeral, wedding, something happens. So anyway, let's start with the week. So first thing, I guess Chicago Muscles channel is down. A lot of people have been asking me, was it taken down? Did he take it down himself? I honestly don't know. I think from by all accounts, what I'm seeing, it looks like he took it down himself, and is it likely he'll be back? I think so. I mean, I don't see him as the type that would cut and run really, but maybe, I don't know. I've got a feeling he'll be back. And I don't know. Does anybody know? You know, can can you put your channel on hold, like on suspension? Where uh, I know if you don't do anything for a while, they'll stop monetizing you and whatever. But can they? Can you put your channel on, say you wanted to take a break for a month or so? Can you do that? I'm not sure. I don't know. So, he may be doing that, or he may come back with a whole different channel. I really don't know. And so, what was the other thing? Oh, Derkie and Derkie White. So, I'd actually never heard of this Derkie White, only through MRE. And so I took a look at a couple of his videos. This was a while back when he had mentioned him. I took a look, and I just couldn't. I couldn't really make head nor tail of what it was about. I guess like Aaron Carter, he just gets up there and talks. That's all I understood from that, or got from that. Anyway, so after all this stuff happened, I looked again this week, and it was mentioned that MRE was on there groveling to him, begging him to forgive him in a phone call. And I went to Derkie White's channel to look at this, and I looked at this phone call. Well, you couldn't hear the other side of the conversation. You could only hear Derkie White. And what I'm assuming happened here, and then I got even more confused. I guess the bottom line is Derkie's family had a TV show or documentary made about them some years ago, and he's part of the extended family. And I guess he did a channel to kind of capitalize on that documentary, is my guess. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking that's what that was. And then I don't know if MRE was a fan or whether he was trolling him from the beginning. I'm not sure. But I guess Derkie did some things, you know, that he didn't like. And I guess he had a addiction problem. And from what I understood from the phone call, I guess Derkie promised merchandise, was selling merchandise, and two girls sent him money and he didn't send the merchandise. So they wanted their money back. That's what I understood from that phone call. And so, like I said, I was watching Derkie's side of it, but you couldn't really hear on the other end. I think he was using like a house phone or something. And then clicked out of that. And then a couple of videos on, MRE had it up where you could hear both sides of the conversation. And I mean, quite honestly, all I got from that was they were coming to a resolution. Derkie promised to pay back the girls. And from what I understand, he paid one of them back, maybe not the other one. The other one had disappeared or whatever. And it sounded like they came to a resolution, it wasn't an argument. It sounded like they were trying to draw a line under whatever they were going at each other about, from what I understood from that. So I didn't hear him, you know, begging him to forgive him and all stuff like that, unless I'm looking at the wrong video. If it's that video, that just sounded like they were, you know, come to a resolution, and Derkie paid one of them, and I guess that's better than nothing, you know, as far as I can see. Anyway, so then I looked at the other lady. Another lady came out, Terri, and I watched her, and I really don't know what to say. I mean, you know, I had to ask first of all, I didn't understand what the genre they were in. I didn't understand what that was about. You know, what type of genre was this? It made absolutely no sense to me. I'm just thinking, oh, well, people are just getting up there arguing. And we thought this genre was bad. I'm like, oh my God. So I didn't understand the genre they were in at all. And then the more she talked, I just was thinking, wow, okay, you know. And if you look at it logically, if you really look at it, I had to ask myself, if I were going to court and these two people, Derkie and Terri, are my witnesses, would I want them as my witnesses? And the answer is no, absolutely not, for multiple reasons, which I won't go into. You know, I don't know these people. I'm not going to start a back and forth with them, but we're basically just expected to believe these two people. I mean, would you want them testifying for you? No. Anyway, so that's where I am with that. And I looked at a couple of the videos. It wasn't just a look at one and whatever and just say whatever. No, I looked at a couple of Derkies. I looked at a couple of Terries, and neither one of them made a lot of sense to me. So I was confused about the relationship MRE had with Derkie, because he was accused of calling his house and all kinds of different things. And I just was confused about that. Was he trolling him in the beginning? Was he a fan? Did they fall out? That's where I was confused with. And I didn't really understand the premise of the community that they were in. Anyway, so that's where I am with that. Would you want these two people testifying for you? No, with an underscore. You know, absolutely not. For multiple reasons, I wouldn't. Anyway, so then I heard in the week. Now, you know, I hadn't been well this week either. I had a cold. I thought I had COVID for a minute, but so I didn't get to watch a lot, and I didn't actually watch a lot. But you know, I was told I was called ignorant because MRE's actually got explosives in his house and he's a terrorist. Now, and there have been pictures up of what they took at the scene, flag, guns, this, that, and the third. Confederate flag was there, other flags. Well, now my answer to that is this. I'm looking at it logically. Now, MRE, okay, he may have had the Confederate flag, but he also had many other flags. And when you think about it, they didn't put pictures of those up. Why not? I mean, if you're gonna take pictures of what he had, take pictures of everything. Anyway, they didn't. They just took the provocative pictures and left the other stuff out. I mean, why? Why? Because they wanted to, do their rhetoric. That's how I see that. Now, as far as him having explosives and being a terrorist, well, let me back up a little bit. This newspaper, Breitbart, firstly, I've never heard of them. And it's really a fact. It's a fact. If that story that they printed was true, and you've got this white supremacist Nazi fella sitting in the middle of Rhode Island with explosives, all this stuff, one of the larger newspapers would have definitely picked that up. Even I think the Daily Mail would have picked that up. They report what happens in America as well. They have a UK and then they have a homepage for America, and that would have definitely have been picked up by them. Absolutely. And that it's only that newspaper, and I find that very odd. If he's a terrorist sitting with a bunch of explosives around him, not only that, he would be in jail. I think even after that happened, I'm pretty sure the FBI would have had him on a watch list or something. He's hardly sitting there with a bunch of explosives. And again, when they did the pictures of what he had, where are the explosives? You would definitely take pictures of explosives, would you not? They didn't. And, MRE has said many times they were M80 firework things, and so it speaks for itself. I mean, logic tells you, if he's some big, who's that fella? Timothy McVeigh. If he was that type of guy, a lone wolf sitting in the middle of Rhode Island, and they found him with all this stuff, it would have been picked up by one of the national newspapers. Absolutely, it would have. So that's my logic to that. That's what I think about that. I don't. You can't trust what the newspapers say anyway. But this particular newspaper, it's just them reporting it. If it was a whole bunch of them, you can understand it. And the reason that there isn't a whole bunch of them, maybe one of them looked at it, maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but I'm sure they would have. And there would have been a lot more people, a lot more reported. It would have been reported more, let me put it that way. So that's what I think. Let's see. Grant says, nothing wrong with the Confederate flag. It's a small minority of weirdos that latch on to it. It's that the problem, the Confederate flag is a Scottish satire, just like satire, just like the Jamaica flag. Oh, okay. Yeah. Hey, Angel, how are you doing? He's not on any government watch list. No, no, I mean, I wouldn't imagine he is. I just think, just because a newspaper reports that doesn't make it true. Not at all. It sure doesn't. And I honestly don't get it. But it's. I think it's best. What's good, Josie? Dear Auntie Angel, Billy Bro Edwin. Okay, yeah. So I just think No, I'm not. I'm not believing that. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but that doesn't make any sense to me at all. Not at all. So, um, anyway, so yeah, yesterday, so we were in Angel's chat, and the subject of funerals came up, and I was saying to her, what's happened is that my sister's very ill, so I may be leaving for London next week. It's not carved in stone yet. It's a little complicated, but that's a high probability that I will be going. Hold on a second. Let's see. Angel is right. He would well, he would, wouldn't he? He would. These are yeah, exactly. They do leave that out. When you look at the pictures, it's just things, the provocative stuff they'll put out, but they don't put all his stuff. If that's the case, take a picture of everything he had. And by the way, MRE, if you're watching this, what is a bastard sword? I've seen you get that out a few times. What is it, and why is it called that? I keep forgetting to ask. Next time on Angel, I'll tell all about an M80 situation that happened to someone very close to me. It was ridiculous, and how the authorities treated it. What are M80s? I don't even know what they are. Are they like these big, massive fireworks that they have at, the big fireworks displays? Maybe. I don't know. I've never seen one. I don't even know what they are. But I do think if he was sitting around with a bunch of explosives, not only would they have taken pictures of them, he would be in jail now as we speak. That's what I think. Oh, a bastard sword is a two-handed sword. Two-handed. What, it's got like a split handle like that? An eighth of a stick of dynamite. Oh, that's what an M80 is? And what, they use them in fireworks or something? Fireworks displays? I've never seen anything like that. Anyway, so as I was saying, we were talking about funerals yesterday, and so I said virtually everyone I've been to has been a complete disaster. But I can honestly say the worst funeral that I went to was my father's, believe it or not. I'm not laughing at that. I can laugh now. At the time, trust me, I was not laughing. So what happened is I got a call. My dad had been diagnosed with cancer, and I went right home. In fact, I was home for 6 months. This was a long stay because when I got there, he hadn't been diagnosed that long, and he was going through treatment and stuff like that. And so I go home. Now, when did I go home? I think I went home in the November, somewhere around there, and he passed away in January. Now, as I told you before, my father was a Muslim and my mother was Roman Catholic, but we were raised Catholic, and he never forced his religion on us, not at all. I've said it before. The only thing, we couldn't drink and we couldn't eat pork, and that was about it. My uncles that used to come over and that, they'd go off and pray every 5 minutes or whatever. They had to go pray every so often, but he never did any of that. So he wasn't really a strict practicing Muslim. But those two things he stuck to. He didn't drink and he didn't eat pork. And so when he died now, the first argument started over where he's going to be buried. Half of the family said he wants to go back to Africa. Because he was from the Gambia, West Africa. They said, he would want to be buried there. And the other half of us said, no, he wouldn't. He hadn't lived. He'd been back to Africa, but he hadn't lived in Africa for like 60 years. You know, what the hell would he want to be buried there for? We're all here, you know, in England. Well, I wasn't living in England, but, you know, everybody else was in England. So why the hell would he want to be there? So that was the first argument. And my uncle, he was like, they had come to England together. And so they were very, very close. Hold on 1 second, please. Hang on. One minute and I'll be right with you. Hold on 1 second. Hang on. Let me do that. The door. Right, so they had come together. So he felt he knew best and whatever. And he was handling the arrangements because we knew nothing about, you know, a Muslim funeral or how they're arranged or nothing about it. You know, our funerals, we go to church, you do the service, you bury them, that's it. Have the wake. You know, so none of us really knew anything about it. So we were happy to leave it with him. So the day before the funeral, we were told, you know, the women have to wear, everyone has to wear white, apparently. You know, we were used to wearing black, everyone wears white. So, and we also had to cover our heads and cover our face, you know, with the jihad. So me and my younger sister, I was staying with her at the time. I'm like, well, where the hell are we going to get that crap from? You know, I haven't got nothing like that. So we went to along Ilford High Road. There were a lot of Indian shops. And so we went in there and the lady bought us these white jihadis. And she put it on us and showed us how to put it on. So only your eyes are peeking out. You know, we look like the Arabian Nights. And so we got that, and the funeral was the next day. So the next day, we're dressed in white. We've got put our jihadis on, and we're going towards the city of London. And as you get towards the city of London through Whitechapel, where Jack the Ripper was, and further along, there are a million. I didn't realize how many mosques and how many Muslims live along this way. And so we're dressed, we look like the Taliban going down the road. And it was a hot day. And my sister had wound down the windows of the car and she wanted a cigarette. And so she's pulled the veil aside and she's puffing away. And rap music was blaring out of the radio. And we're getting all these really dirty looks. People are like, you know, and I said, what are they looking at? I said, well, you know, I guess we weren't looking very becoming, let's put it that way. So we arrive at the mosque, and I kid you not, it was like, I don't know if anybody's been to a souk or seen a souk in Morocco, where everybody's milling around. It was chaos. There was a million people there. And I'm thinking, oh, this is a big turnout, you know. We didn't know what to expect. So we're going there, we're just kind of standing there looking around, and I'm waiting for a service to begin, some sort of something. And then I needed to go to the bathroom. So my niece came running up to me, and I said, I need to go to the bathroom. So she said, no, they don't allow you to, you can't go to the bathroom before the service, because they believe that if you do, the angels aren't coming to get him. So I'm like, you what? She said, yeah. She said, they you're not allowed to go to the bathroom before this, whatever it is they were doing. She said, because that in their belief, the angels aren't coming to get him. Well, by now, I'm like busting. And in the end, I was like, look, you know, I bet they're not, I guess they're not coming to get him then, because I've got to go. You know, so I go to the bathroom. That was a whole nother experience. In the bathroom, they had these watering cans, you know, like what you water flowers with the long spout. They had those, no toilet paper. So I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Well, apparently After you've been to the bathroom, you cleanse yourself. I was thinking, oh my Christ. Anyway, so go to the bathroom, come back. I'm waiting for the service. And then all of a sudden, and there were a million people there, I mean, a lot of people. All of a sudden, I heard there was a loudspeaker and it said, everyone who wants to see their loved one now, go to the tent. Well, right in the middle of this mosque, over to the further side, there was this tent. And we start to walk over there and I'm looking and there are 5 coffins under this tent. And I'm like, wait a minute, whose funeral? I thought we were at the wrong funeral. I said, whose funeral is this? They said, no, they're doing it as a joint thing. I'm like, what? You know, what the hell? Yeah, there were 5 coffins lined up. So they said, if you want to say goodbye to your loved ones now, do it now. I said, what happened to the service? Where's the ceremony? Oh, the men have already done that. Excuse me? You know, I'm like, you what? I said, well, why are we here? Oh, no, the men have already gone and done the service. There's no sir. So I'm getting more pissed. I'm getting madder and madder. So at this point, we arrive up to the tent. And what happened is my younger sister was crying. You know, she was upset. And she went to go to one of the coffins. And the men that were surrounding the tent said, shoo, 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 shoo. So, like what? No, apparently, if you cry and you're visibly crying over these coffins, again, the angels aren't coming to get him. And I'm like, by now I've had enough. I said, well, they're not coming anyway because I went to the bathroom earlier. You know, they said they weren't coming if I went to the bathroom, so they're not coming now. So she can cry if she wants. You know, I was just getting furious. They treated us, the women, like, what was the point of us being there? And it was our dad, you know. Anyway, so we go to view him. I go to the first coffin. It's not him. I'm like, I don't know who this is. Second coffin. Not him. Third coffin. Not him. Fourth coffin. I'm just like, what are we doing here? Fifth coffin was my dad. I look in the coffin. You'll never guess what they did with him. They put him on his side in the coffin. You know, like you would lay a newborn baby on their side. That's how they put him in the coffin. And I'm like, are these people, what the? It wasn't funny at the time, I can assure you. But now I can like laugh at it. But I was like, what in the hell? What are they? He was on his side. And so they gave us like 2 seconds to look. Shoo, shoo, moved everybody away. So I said, well, what happens now? So they said, well, he's going to be buried at the Muslim burial ground. Where the hell is the Muslim burial ground? We hadn't even been told anything. We don't know where that is. So what they did is they put these coffins in a van and took off at high speed through the streets of London to the Muslim burial ground. We all had to run out, jump in our cars, chase this van to the burial ground. The burial ground, in actual fact, turned out to be a regular cemetery. You know, the Catholics, Jews, whatever, were buried over here. You know, they all had their own section. And the Muslim burial ground was over here. So we get to the burial ground. I thought, okay, well, you know, normally you stand around the coffin, say whatever. So I thought, well, this is, you know, anything we had to say, this was our opportunity. And me and my sisters, it was, now the wind had picked up. It got like chilly, you know, and everything's being blown around. We look like, oh my God, I don't know what we look like. But we go to walk to the, you know, grave. No. Women aren't allowed. No, only the men. Well, by now I just lost it. I'm like, you must, why are we even here? Why did we even come? You know, there was no point in any of us being there. You know, the men did it. What they said is, oh, you can come back another day. Oh, all right then. So me and my sister, I said, right, I've had enough of this. You know, I've had enough of it. It's ridiculous, you know. And so we went back to my sister's house, and everybody, you know, we all kind of congregated over there. And as usual, you know, my brother started with my sister, and you got the usual. It wasn't a wake exactly, you know, because they don't believe in wake. They don't have flowers. They don't have anything. Nothing. They put like a little marker, and you know, that was another argument. Well, does he have a headstone? No, they don't believe in headstones. Yes, they do. I've seen them, you know. Anyway, he has a headstone now, but at the time, that was another bone of contention. And so I can safely say that was the worst funeral I've ever attended. And what I did do before I was coming back to America, they said they don't like flowers, you know, on their graves or nothing like that. But what I did, I went and planted a rose bush. So that was my FU. You know, I planted a little rose bush on it, and my sister goes and tends to it. She said it's still there. So that was another one. There was another one, but I'll tell you about that another time. So next time I might do 2 weddings and a funeral. There were so many stories like that. I can't even tell you. But anyway, all right, let's go to the chat a little bit. Hi, Burnley. All good, mate. Thought you'd been Blackpool. Oh, yeah. When I talked to my sister yesterday, she said she was just coming back from they've got like a caravan in Clacton, and she said that was really nice. So she was on her way back from there. Yeah, a multiple funeral is not cool. Well, I was shocked. I was like, nobody told us that. You know, we didn't know what to expect. 5 coffins under a bloody tent. Oh my God. And then we've had to go to, oh, that was terrible. I missed it this year. I usually away to Vegas for the Rangers convention. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, they sure did. They sure did. But that's how they do. You know what I mean? That's how they do. We may as well have not been there. You know, we're dressed up like the Taliban, just hanging around. My sister's, you know, in the end, she's pulling this thing, she's puffing away. You know, we were getting dirty looks as it was. And, you know, there was nothing. The men did it all, I guess. It was ridiculous. Oh, gosh. But that wasn't the only one I went to. I went to another one where they kind of did the same thing. It was equally as bad, you know. And you know, normally a funeral procession, you would expect the cars to go slow as you go to the graveyard. Oh no, this van took off. I had visions of it screeching at the lights and the coffins all flowing out. You know, that's how fast the bloody guy was going. I'm like, oh my God. And we didn't even know where we're going. We had to keep up with the van because we didn't know where this Muslim burial ground was. It was, oh my Christ. Yeah. So that was another time. Yeah, Beck. Anyway, so that's it for me today. This is just a quickie. Hope everybody has a good weekend. And I'll let you know if I'm going or not. I spoke to my brother this morning, and he's kind of saying hold off for a bit because, you know, well, I'm getting mixed signals. Some people are saying she's not doing well at all and they've got a bad feeling. And then other people are saying, well, no, she's okay. She's apparently got to go and have a procedure done on Wednesday in the hospital. So he said there's no point in going prior to that, you know, and let's wait and see what happens a little bit. So I'm kind of playing it by ear right now. So if I'm not on or you don't hear from me for a minute, you know that, you know, Are you the only person from your... Yes, yeah. And to tell you the truth, I didn't want to move here. I was petrified of America, and mainly because all I knew of America really was TV shows, movies, stuff like that. And I thought everyone ran around with guns. You know, like in England, for example, we've had many serial killers. In fact, I'm going to do a couple of shows on those. You know, there was a doctor, Harold Shipman. He was a right one. He was going around killing off everybody. But normally when we get a serial killer in England, because it's so small, you know, normally you'll get one. You know, you get one at a time. Here you get multiple. So I was always petrified of that, you know, and I thought, oh, I'm driving, I was scared of, because you drive on the wrong side of the road. Well, it's the right side to you, but it's the wrong side to me. And even now, sometimes I'll get to the end of the road and just have a complete brain fart and not remember what side of the road, you know, I'm supposed to be on. You know, I've done that many a time, and I'll wait to see a car to come. I've done that. You know, I was scared to come here, but then, and the very first year I was here, I was really, really homesick. I just wanted to go home. You know, I didn't want to be here. And then when I went home, I changed my mind. I thought, what was I crying about? Life is really much better here. You do have a better life. You have a better standard of living. You do have way better healthcare. And it is a better existence than England right now. In England, the taxes are out of this world. You have to pay to breathe, basically. You're paying for oxygen, you know, to breathe. And every time you turn around, there's a new tax. They're taxing you for this, taxing you for that. You know, the standard of living, the cost of living is outrageous. And, you know, you get more for your buck here, definitely. You know, I live way better here than I probably would in England, for sure. And I hate the weather. You know, you can never rely on it. You know, and I like the sun, sea, sand. So I'm happy where I am. Thank you. I like to go and leave, you know, but oh, he said, no, you guys driving in England is always impossible. You know what, though? I had been here so long. When I went home, my sister picked me up at the airport, and I was scared to death. It felt like she was driving like a lunatic, you know, and it was about 25 minutes in the car, and I was white knuckling it all the way, because we were, you know, I've been used to being on the right. And now we're on the left, and the little roads and the curves and whatever. I thought I was going to have a heart attack by the time we arrived to a house. I kid you not. So you do get used to things here, you know. And not only that, grocery shopping. You know, I went to the grocery store with my sister, and this is the one that's ill. And she's, oh God, she's 10 times worse than I am. And we got the groceries, and I was just standing there. And she said, what the F do you think you're doing? So I said, what? She said, you're not in effing America now, you know. You've got to bag your own groceries. Because you know here how they bag them. Oh, no. I don't know if they've started doing it in England or not. Maybe someone could tell me. But back when I was there, hell no, you did your own. You know. And I got so used to having groceries bagged and carried to the car or whatever, or pushed, you know. And she said, you know, you're not in effing America now, you know. So little things, you know, make a difference. But anyway, guys, I'm going to get going. I've got a lot to do today. And, you know, we'll see if I have to make a quick trip to London. I don't know what day. I don't know anything yet. I'm going to talk to my brother tonight. I just spoke to him this morning. And he said he'll call me later and let me know. He's going to pop in on it today. So we shall see. But anyway, everyone have a good night. I may, if someone's doing anything later, I'll pop in your chat. Thanks for all being here. And I'll see you later. Bye.